Hello guys, it's me, TONIK TCW, and you've heard me say it a million times before, I don't play battleships, but we've got this thing going on for the Legendary mod, so I've been out trying my Tier 7 battleships of various countries, and I'm speechless at the stupidity that is going on in this game, because this one, even though we're only halfway through February, this has got to be the golden potato of the year. We're here on Shards Its Domination. That's 3 caps. You'll notice there's a couple of Ostgotlands, one of which is in division with La Foudre and Georgia. We have a black, an Ostgotland, and a Z35 on our side. But yeah, I hate not playing destroyers. I hate being reliant on other people for destroyers. But we are going to play this game as best as we can. The Georgia isn't a bad battleship. I do have the Georgia as well as the Georgia W. And as we should do, support your destroyer on the cap. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. Because a big ship in the middle of the cap, I can afford to potentially sacrifice some hit points to take control of this cap. But you'll notice that across there on B cap, the destroyer doesn't even try to contest it. He just turns around and sails away. Now that Iowa is coming across here from that side, so we are going to try a blind shot across the top of that Iowa and see if we can put some damage on the board. There is another battleship here with me. I don't know what he is, but we can see the Benson. The carrier's got him spotted. Our Ostgotland is pushing into the cap. The Benson, I think, has popped smoked and turned out. But we've still got shots on that Iowa. We're going to keep onto them until such time as we disappear behind this island. Now, I'm not loading high explosive here, but what I am doing is getting my next salvo ready for the destroyer, because I'm sure that the carrier is going to get him spotted again. I don't know if the carrier's going for the Iowa, but that Benson there, he needs to be absolutely clattered. The Ostgotland has put his torpedoes out on him. The Benson disappears into a smoke screen. They're guns on each other. I know I'm going to take hits from this Iowa, but there's the Benson at 7 Ks. He doesn't know I'm coming round the corner. But we go all 3 turrets on him, and 90% of his hit points disappear in one salvo. That OG just needs to get guns on and finish him. This cap is going to be ours. The Iowa immediately slams his ship into reverse. Now I realise at this moment in time I'm in a very tricky spot. However, our OG, instead of coming onto the cap and helping to take it, has sailed straight off it. I've got the division on my right hand side. The Z35 is coming into the cap behind us, and we are now going to get the attention of Red Team's aircraft carrier. I'm trying to stay angled to the Iowa. I'm looking at what this OG is doing. The Z35 is telling me to get back. He should be on this cap. The OG, well, he should be on B cap. The OG should be on this cap, but instead, no. He's heading round the back of the islands because he's on a carrier hunt. And if you take the first letter of the word carrier and remove a letter from the word hunt, then you get exactly what I think about that guy playing the way he is. La Foudre is pushing through the cap. I know they've got an Ostgotland there. I can see torpedoes coming in from the rear. We've 7 seconds to take the cap. La Foudre is going to push over. We've got one battleship on the back of that island, but their destroyer has pushed straight through. That guy's got torpedoes on him. As I said, I don't play battleships a lot, so I'm not great at judging the time of flight of shells. But we see that lands behind, so we're going to lead them a little bit more. Red Team have managed to secure B and C caps, because it looks like the team are hanging back slightly there. I don't know why, because the carrier's over here. The DD, has nothing to worry about. We've gotten rid of the destroyer on our side, and our OG has finally made it around the island and is going to go hunting the Iowa. The carrier is putting all his attention on me, and I see that the Östergötland is behind us at 10.5 Ks. I am literally shouting down the mic, somebody get on that OG because he is after our carrier. But it isn't going to happen. He's got more than enough time to get his torpedoes out, but the Z-35 is running them down, which is a nice thing to see. Now the Georgia and the Lefudra have gone straight through the middle of the map because one of our battleships on CCAP can't get shots over, and I think the other one is engaged with CCAP and can't really see what is going on. I'm thinking, what do I do? What do I do? When all of a sudden the Lexington appears in front of us. Now our OG is sailing around in circles, waiting for torpedo reloads to happen, and this game looks lost from the off. We're going to lose our carrier. Their carrier's out here. Our destroyers have got their heads up their backsides, and I'm in a battleship that I don't play very often, and there's an Iowa bow tanking me, and I'm not expecting to survive very long at all. I'm actually in two minds about whether I'm going to switch to high explosive and try and burn this guy down. But we stay on these guns, we stay on the Iowa. We're going to try and keep the carrier's attention on us whilst staying alive. The other ship beside me is putting shells out on the Iowa, and I am going to try and get something on that Lexington. Nope, we overshoot. The Iowa is still just in reverse. The destroyer is chasing them. If either that Östergötland or Z-35 could do anything now, it would be to push back towards the center of the map and try and do something about BCAP, because I know that now I've got two battleships behind me which I'm broadside to. I've got a battleship in the front which is bow tanking me, and there we go, I'm taking shots from the rear. Now Z-35 is going to push in there against them, but our OG, honestly, I just don't know what was going through his head. Apart, of course, from cotton wool and fresh air. But he manages to pick up the Iowa finally. And you see his mic light up, because he actually starts chuckling down his microphone about the fact that he managed to kill the Iowa. And I'm like, yep, great job, buddy. Now can you get back into the game and try and make a difference to it? But we slap the Lexington. We hit him for a citadel. We break through the 100,000 mark. There is the Östergötland coming up behind me. I know he's got long range torpedoes. He is going to do me a favour and start shooting at me. And I am one of those battleship captains that will take a shot at destroyers, but I know in doing so I'm turning into the Lefudra. I don't want to be near that OG. I want one of the destroyers to come in and get him spotted. Z-35 would be great. Smoke and sonar. That would work a treat. I really don't know where our Östergötland is going or what he is thinking of doing. But Lefudra is out there broadside. We get shots out across to him. And as I said, I'm not great at judging these at the moment. I'm still learning. But we chip away. We get one shot out of 9 on a broadside battleship at that kind of range. Now, for whatever reason, the Z-35, I think he's going for torpedo kill, but he's going to try and YOLO in and get one of those guys off the map. I blind fire across the top at Lefudra. Please, destroyers, somebody get on the cap and contest it, because we are up, but we can't let red team take the advantage here. 9 minutes into the game, we lose the Z-35 because he got a little bit too close for comfort, got himself spotted, and the Östergötland took him out. Now, I am trying to sail towards B because the guys who were across at C have finally finished their cups of tea and taken sea cap, and they decide to head in this direction. It is 5 ships plays 3. It is only the division that is left. All we need is some eyes on, and I need to be in range, and that is what I'm going to do here. I'm going to turn in and bring those guys into range. It's a long shot. It's a hell of a long shot. I'm looking at the Lefudre. I can't get across those rocks onto him. We keep tracking. We're waiting for the other battleship. I think it's a Georgia, waiting for him to come into range. Yep, he's there. He's broadside to us, and I probably fire a little bit too early, because once he's completed his turn, he is going to speed up. But they should be bracketed now by the guys from CCAP and by me, and we missed those completely. Absolutely shots to the wind. Now with 2 destroyers in on BCAP, that should turn quite quickly, but the Ostergotland is running in from this side. We lose the Brandenburg to the Lefudre, to a long shot from across the other side of the map. We pick up a clear sky by taking down a spotter plane, so that shows you how much the carrier was onto us. And the OG and the other destroyer are holding BCAP. That's great. Hold BCAP. We were up on points significantly. We are now down on points. We need these caps to get a win. Blind shot on the Lefudre. The Georgia has pushed into the cap. We lose the Ostergotland to secondaries. Why he thought he needed to be so close, I don't know. But it is 3 plays 1. We have a 50-point advantage. There are less than 4 minutes on the map. We have got this in the bag, but the destroyer that's left pops a smoke and sits in it. The Lefudre takes an absolute battering from our last battleship, but he's low health. All that DD needs to do is stick close, try and give him will to rebuild. I'm sure we can finish this guy, but he keeps disappearing because those guys are either in smoke or not in a position to get an angle. And it seems that no matter what we do here, RNG is going to desert us completely, because Lefudre takes out the Champagne as well. We've come from 5 ships against 3 to 2 plays 1. You'd think this was in the bag, but it's not. We are going to see the stupidest thing that I have seen so far in this game. And all we need to do is spot the Lefudre, don't get into detection range, let me get shots on him, we can push him back off the cap. There he is, he's behind the island. That's all you have to do, spot him. You're a full health, pretty much, destroyer. All you need to do is keep that guy spotted long enough for me to come in and get my guns on. Well, that's what I would do anyway. But that guy isn't me. And I think, even though I've put myself in some precarious positions this game, that I've done all right in the Georgia. Our destroyer there has gone in. YOLO. The Lefudre is going to go off the cap, and that is going to bring the points advantage back to us. I don't know what this destroyer has got going through his mind. He's in secondary range. Now this guy is obviously in a black. It's a campaign reward ship. Does he know what he's doing in it, or is he just playing top tier because he fancies it? Those torpedoes are slow as hell, and that Lefudre is going to have until next January to turn out of the way of those. I had switched or I have switched to HE, because the Lafudra killing that destroyer has now put them 50 points in the lead. The only thing I can think to do is to try and get a burn on this guy, because I know he has damage cont. We get the burn, but there are seconds left on the clock. I'm going as fast as I can, which isn't very fast at all. I'm looking at my damage counter. It is still ticking up ever so slowly. This Lafudra needs to die for us to win the game. All because of a destroyer who thought he had the game in hand. Pay attention, people. Look at what's going on. And for God's sake, yes, I know, YOLO might be one thing when you definitely can't lose, but don't do some stupid shit like that. We finish on 180,274 damage with a high caliber and a clear sky. We only got one kill, which is the carrier, but we finished top of the board with 2,049 base XP, which would have been 4th overall for the winning team. That would have been over a 3,000 base XP game for me had we won. The Lafudra picks himself up a solo warrior, dreadnought, and a close quarters. Thank you very much, Black, for just handing that to him on a plate. Honestly, I give in. Still, hang around. Click one of these, watch another video, smash the like button, and please do hit that subscribe button and help us on our way to 800. Goodbye for now.